Today we will be talking about everyone's favorite childhood horror series, Goosebumps. It would be the early to mid 90s. You're in elementary school. You show up for what seems like any normal day of school. But then as you get to class, you notice on the teacher's desk is a pack of papers, which turns out to be the Scholastic News book order forms. The teacher passes them out and you just go wild. You're going through every page looking for all the books you want to order. But then you see what we're here to talk about and what was always my favorite, and that was Goosebumps. The first Goosebumps book was published in July of 1992, written by a person we all know, R.L. Stine. Born Robert Lawrence Stine in 1943, he is one of the most successful and highest-selling children's authors of all time. He's actually number 2 on the list. The only person ahead of him is J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter series. Goosebumps has sold around 400 million through all versions of it. And again, that's only second to Harry Potter, which was around 600 million. The series, it primarily targeted young readers, at 8 to 12 years old, that elementary school age. And, they were standalone books. So the story that was presented in each book was completed by the end. Now, they did have some books in the series that did build on from the previous books, but generally it was one and done. And we know what it was about. It was about ghouls, monsters, phenomena, all creepy things. Probably, Goosebumps can probably be credited as getting many kids into horror. So the original series, which ran from 1992 to 1997, there were 62 books in total. So just think about that. R.L. Stine was pumping out 62 of these just over a 5-year span. Now, there is, depending on what you read, he may have had freelancers helping, possibly ghostwriters too. Some say that, someone might have come in with an outline for a story that they had, and he would then take that and turn it into a full novel. So there's more on the internet if you want to read that, but just think of how much his production during that time. And on top of that, there was a Fear Street series that was going on too. Now, Fear Street, if it was like this for you, once I got out of elementary, I graduated to Fear Street. So once I got into 6th grade, I don't know why, but I guess I do not know why, just being a stupid kid and saying, I'm too old for the Goosebumps, so I'm going to go to Fear Street. The first book in the franchise was Welcome to Dead House, which I have right here. I had this one as a kid. And so I owned, growing up, I had I think I got up to number 45 in the series before I stopped collecting. At some point then, I decided to sell everything. I wanted to get Goosebumps again, so I think it was around 2019. I really liked thrifting, and primarily through Goodwill, I started to pick up the original series. But then the pandemic hit, and I also think during that time is when Goodwill, they might have had this before, but they have basically their version of eBay. And so I noticed that the original series was becoming harder and harder to find in the store. So, I think it seems logical that what they told their employees was, hey, certain items that are, that are more valuable, let's start putting them on our auction website, and we'll be able to get a higher sales amount for that, which makes sense. So I really struggled to find any of the original series after the pandemic, though I would find them here and there, but they were usually ones that were earlier in the series and ones that I already had. So after the pandemic, I decided, well, I'm going to try to collect the spin-offs and the later series too. So that's what I've done. I have almost all the original series besides like 5 or 6 of them. The ones I'm missing are the later ones, so like 55, 56, 57, I think 62. Thing is, those are the more valuable ones too. So if you look on eBay for these, they're running 20, 30, 40 bucks a piece, and I don't want to pay that much. So hoping I can get those books at some point. But what I wanted to show today is some of the amazing covers. Goosebumps were known for their eye-popping covers, and the original series was primarily illustrated by Tim Jacobus. And what an amazing artist. He was able to capture your attention as soon as you looked at that. I didn't even read the synopsis normally, the summary of what the book was about. I looked at the cover and said, this looks awesome, I want to read this. So I want to take a look now at some of my favorite covers from the original series. Now these don't necessarily mean that this is the best book, but they are my favorite covers. And after the original series, we had lots of different spin-offs. Obviously, something that's valuable, an IP that's popular, they're going to want to continue on. And so they did. So lots of spin-offs that I have. One of them was Give Yourself Goosebumps, which was like the Choose Your Own Adventures, which those also had amazing covers to them too. There were 50 books of Give Yourself Goosebumps. They ran from 95 to 2000. Also, Goosebumps Most Wanted, which was a series of 10, and those were completely new stories. Goosebumps from Horrorland, that came out in 2008, and it consisted of 19 books. Within that, the story was basically the protagonist of the story was stuck in Horrorland, which is a fair amusement park type thing. There's also Goosebumps Series 2000, which was a continuation of the original Goosebumps series. There were 25 books in this series. Another spin-off was Goosebumps Slappy World. So we know Slappy the Dummy from the original series, one of the most popular characters. So there was an entire series that was based around Slappy. As with the original series, the spin-off series also had very engaging and very attractive covers. So now I want to take a look at some of my favorite covers from the later series. Well, that wraps up the first video. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the best Goosebumps covers. I hope you seek out some for yourself. I hope you take a look at the ones that were not, that I don't have. So let me know in the comments, what are some of your favorite covers, and how did you get introduced to Goosebumps? If you did enjoy this episode, please check out my other ones, and please subscribe so you can see all future episodes. All episodes will be coming from my rocking chair and coming from my nerd room, which I am sitting in right now. And different items in my nerd room are what's going to kick off each episode. So if you're interested in this, again, like, subscribe, share this if you would, and I will see you next time.